Hi, welcome back to the Freese Watches channel. Can't believe it's the end of the month already, and what we did at the end of last month was to show you the watches we've made. So what I wanted to do was just to make this extra video just to show you what we've been up to. We've made some more watches and we've got some variety. We haven't made quite as many this month because we've been working on customers' watches. We often do a custom order. If someone would like a watch with a particular colour dial or a particular specification, then we'll work to that. We've had quite a few of those to do. So the watches that we've got this month are a little limited, but I'd really like to show them to you. So we'll get over to the bench in a second and we'll have a look. Okay, so over at the bench now, and here is the first watch I was going to show you. Back when we started making the 101, we started with a sterile dial like this one. And that's the dial that we really stuck with for most of the production of the 101 up until now. We're now on to watch 95 of the 101s. And most of them have had this dial, but in recent months we've started to produce a printed dial with Freese on the dial and 101 automatic at 6 o'clock. So we've actually got a few of these original dials left, which we have now made up into the final watches that will actually house this dial, and this is the first one I was going to show you. So what we have here is an original 101 dial with aged lume, and we've got an aged blue bezel which has got a kind of grey blue colour to it. It makes up a, I think it looks really great. It's a very attractive watch, and I think we've been quite successful with the number of these that we've sold and with the response we've had. So we've got just got two of these left now, which is this one and another one I'm going to show you in a second. The last two, it'd be quite nice to keep them really, but obviously I can't really keep the watches. It sort of defeats the objects of making and selling them, so it will have to find a new home. So here's the second of the 101s with the original dial that I've got for sale, and this one has got a brown bezel. So you can see it makes a big difference to the way the watch looks when you change the colour of the bezel. It does look significantly different. We've got the similar sort of aged lume. This dial has got a fair bit of patina to it. We've aged the dial so it's got some marks and scratches which actually look a bit like a Rolex Spider dial. So it's a really nice, attractive looking thing. This is this is going to be one of the last ones that we sell of these. In a way, it's a shame to sort of see them go because they have been really good for us. But we've got to obviously got to move on to try and continue to evolve the watches we're making. And so this one has to go as well and has to find a new home. So we've got it fitted to a nice brown two-stitch strap as well, which obviously complements the bezel. I always find it interesting with these where the colour of the bezel makes the dial look different, and it might just be just a false impression, but the dial to me does appear slightly brown as a result of being next to a brown bezel. So there we are, that's watch number two. This is the third watch we've got to show you today. This is quite an unusual watch because it's the first one. I'm describing this as a mustard dial. It's a kind of dark, dirty yellow colour, and this has been matched up with a brown bezel and a kind of, cream lume. It has made up a really nice combination. It's got the new 101 dial. It's quite nice to show you this next to the old one, so you can see how the design has evolved. So we've gone away from the gilt minute track. We've gone to a white print to match with the white writing at the centre of the dial, the Freese and the 101 automatic. So what we wanted to do was obviously evolve the watch, and then that's what we've done with this dial. We've sort of made it our own really, and tried to sort of step away from what we started with, which was a very sterile mil-sub style dial. We've kept the large circular plots because obviously we feel that they're very attractive and they obviously lend themselves well to having a vintage lume as well. So we kept those, but this watch here, it's a unique dial. We haven't made an olive or mustardy coloured dial before, so it's the first one we've made, and really pleased with the way it looks. Okay, so here's the fourth watch to show you today. A few videos ago I did a video about a brown dial watch. It was the first time we've made a watch for a brown dial. It's something that's taken us quite a long time to get right, because brown, when you're making an aged dial, the brown has to sort of have various tones inside of it. So the first brown one that I made sold straight away. The obvious thing to do is to make another one, of course. So we've made another brown dial watch here. This is the second one we've made, and which is now going to be available for sale on the website from the 1st of July. So yeah, this is slightly different to the last brown one we made. The bezel's a bit shinier, and we have a slightly different brown as well. But this is just the result of the individual way we make these watches. Because they're all made individually, they often all look quite different, and it's just one of the features of our watches that makes them, makes them unique really. It's quite labour intensive, but it's certainly a nice way of, providing a watch for someone with, that is very much their own watch, very much a personal thing, that you can choose the watch you like, and hopefully get something that is really close to, what would suit you. The downside for me, of course, is having to photograph all these watches. They all have to be photographed individually. It's quite labour intensive, but obviously the upside is it's very nice to be able to sort of show all these different watches. Okay, here's the last watch I'd like to show you today, and it's a 101 with a 369 dial. This is probably the most extreme 369 dial we've made so far. What we've done is applied a cellulose lacquer on the top, which we've aged, and this gives the dial a real sort of caramelised appearance. It looks like it's been sat in a smoky pub for 50 years, and it reminds me of something I remember seeing a number of years ago when I was restoring a vintage Rolex Explorer, and I remember taking the back off to be overwhelmed by the smell of tobacco. And obviously we don't live in that world anymore, and things are a lot cleaner and sanitised, but there is something attractive about these kind of caramel hues that you see on old watches sometimes, and we've tried to recreate that on this particular dial. We've also got an aged blue bezel. You'll see that blue has gone to, it's got a sort of grey hue to it. It complements the lume nicely, and it's made for a very appealing oval package. As I say, it's one that would really appeal to someone who likes a slightly more extreme patina to their dial, because it is not a, it's certainly not a pristine, clean, crisp looking watch by any means. It has got a lot of character to it. So this is certainly a watch for someone who likes a lot of patina, and it has made for a very attractive watch. Well, thanks everyone for sticking with me during the video. I hope it was interesting for you to see the watches that we've made. As I said, it's a fairly limited selection this month. We've only made a few watches, but this is because of the custom orders we've been doing. Also, as I mentioned, those 101s, the ones with just with the sterile dial, they are the last ones we're making with that particular dial, so it's worth bearing that in mind if you're interested in one of those watches. Another quick channel update. We're actually going to be working on some slightly more involved video projects, and the idea is that rather than doing a weekly video, we're going to go over to one every 2 weeks, and hope that we can improve the content of the video this way, and do some more varied videos on vintage watches, on watchmaking in general. And what we want to do is to respond to the comments that we've had. So hopefully that's going to be more interesting for you moving forward. So our next video isn't going to be on Friday, it'll be the following Friday. I'm really looking forward to getting that video out and seeing what you think of it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notifications. We'd love you to come along as we continue to make videos. We're just trying to move our way into this and respond to what we're asked to do by the people who watch the videos, because we really want to produce videos that are interesting to you. So please keep the comments coming. We love to read those, and we're really grateful for all the engagement we've had. So thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.